Hey, church, Pastor David, just want to share something with you that I've been very thankful for and been thinking about a lot lately. And that's really the impact that God has on our lives. He intends for it to outlast our lives. I want to share something with you out of Joshua chapter 4 that he and the nation of Israel was commissioned to do was as they crossed past or through the Jordan. They were commissioned to take 12 stones, one for every tribe, and pile them up and make this monument to the Lord. But it was so that whatever happened on that day would outlast that day. It wasn't just this fancy, pretty thing for them to do. It was something that God had done for that generation, but the story of it was to last for generations and generations to come. And so they do it, they obey the Lord, but the reason for it, the motivation, the heart behind it all is given. And this is honestly, as much as it should be our heart, it's God's heart that things outlast and they continue on. And then they're given the reason in verse 6 of chapter 4, Joshua is told that this may be a sign among you when your children ask in time to come, saying, "What do these stones mean to you?" Then you shall answer them that the waters of the Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord. When it crossed over the Jordan, the waters of the Jordan were cut off, and these stones shall be for a memorial to the children of Israel forever. And the children of Israel did so, just as Joshua commanded, and took up 12 stones from the midst of the Jordan, as the Lord had spoken to Joshua, according to the number of the tribes of the children of Israel, and carried them over with them to the place where they lodged, and laid them down there. It may sound simple, I don't know, but I love getting to ask people who are just further on down the road of life than I am. They're older, maybe they've raised their kids. Maybe that's you, I don't know. But years ago, I remember asking someone, okay, parenting tips. If you give me, one or two things that you would definitely encourage doing. And it was awesome. There's an older man who just, with no hesitation, is like, you know what? If we could go back, we should have shared our testimonies with our kids more. We should have told them more about the things we'd seen God do. We should have told them more about how we saw God provide in seasons that were very tight. We should have talked to them more about how God led us through difficult scenarios. And we should have told them more about how he strengthened our marriage. And we should have told our kids more about what we had seen with our own eyes God doing or having had done. And taking that to heart, that we should have these memorials, there's 100 million ways to do that. You can get a notebook and write down those small stories that you've seen that you need to pass down to your kids or your grandkids. You can just take the time to talk and have conversations. My grandfather was a woodshop teacher in a high school. He taught architecture and drafting, and he taught woodshop. And I have in my garage right here a workbench he had made and used in his house. And I remember I lived with him, my mom, my sister, and I lived there for a while. He and my grandmother, amazing impacts on my life. But when he passed away, no one was going to take this, and it was either going to go away forever or I could have it. And I have it. It's awesome, this workbench. Same thing, that saw right there, that was my grandfather's. That's a saw I learned how to use. I remember being 6, 7 years old, and on that workbench right behind me, him showing me how the clamp and the vise worked, and then how to make that initial cut, and now I have it, and I've been able to teach my kids how to use on it. And that bench has been passed down generation after generation to the third, and Lord willing, to the fourth, and maybe the fifth. That thing's solid. But as much as maybe we want to pass down a financial inheritance to our kids, we want to pass down this knowledge to our kids, we want to pass down these experiences and memories to our kids, the Lord says, I want you to build some things up so that you can pass down your faith to the next generation and the one after. And so I know maybe some of you guys are stuck in the middle. You're older, maybe 20, 25, but you don't have kids yet. Look, all of us have been commissioned to impact the next generation for Christ. And so be creative in how you do that, but don't make it difficult. It's very simple. There's 12 stones. It's not that hard. Pile them up, and then when given opportunity, talk about it. So for you and I, may we be faithful to remember what God has done in our lives, and then be faithful to just talk about it and share it with others. So God bless you guys. pray through how God would bring this to life for you. Maybe over dinner, you have some conversations. Maybe you call someone up. I don't know. But God bless you guys. We are praying for you guys. And can't wait to see you again